How's it going, folks? My name is XGR, and welcome to another episode of Weapon Wednesday. Today I want to talk to you about this little knife. It needs a little bit more anecdote than I believe the rest of these do, so today is going to be more like a story time. So this knife was made by a knife maker in South Africa. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm originally from South Africa. I was born and raised there, and I moved to the United States when I was around 17 years old, and that was like 10 years ago now. The last time I went to South Africa, which I believe was in 2012, it's been a while, I went down to Cape Town with my family. Both of my aunts actually have houses in Cape Town, and we went to a little village in close to Cape Town, and that village was called, don't know if you can see it, but I'll try to bring it as close to the camera as I can. It's called Kleinmond, which means little mouth. I don't know why, but anyway. So this knife I found at a wine store. Now, I was attracted to this knife immediately because I went into the wine store. The wine store had about, a regular amount of wine bottles, but they also had around 50 or so different knives made by this guy, J.M. Vosloo. Now, generally speaking, I am not attracted to hunting knives, but as soon as I saw the knives, this was the first one that caught my attention. And I love this knife. I absolutely think it is a fantastic knife. I love the little warthog on the back, stamped on the back. I think it's cute. The reason this knife stuck out to me, number one, is because of the color. Now, I don't know if you can see this very well. I'm going to try to bring it closer to the camera. But the handle is actually made out of a kudu horn. And I'll put a picture up so that you can get a little bit better of an idea of what a kudu looks like. The white part in here is made out of a giraffe bone. So this guy who makes the knives, his name is J.M. Vosloo. You can see me on the back there. That's why generally I tend to stick with black blades because I'm not fond of the reflection. But J.M. Vosloo is a knife maker, and his knife, this knife particularly, was in a small winery in Kleinmond, which is on the coast, the southern coast of South Africa, and I'll put some maps up so I can show you guys. Anyway, I really enjoy this knife. I think the jimping is done really well. I think the handle is just absolutely perfect. It fits so well. Like this knife, I couldn't pick a better knife because of the way that it sits and the way that it feels, and just feels good in my hand. A little drop point there. It has a really deep bevel, and I love this knife. And of course it has sentimental value to me because it is one of the few knives that I own that was actually manufactured or produced in South Africa. And a lot of the other knives that I have are just made in the US or made in China or whatever. So this one has a very special place in my heart, and probably one day it will go to one of my kids. Now, the last thing I want to say about this knife is that I had a budget for the entire 6 weeks that I was going to live in South Africa with my family, and was on vacation and such. During that time, my budget, about 80% of my budget went towards this knife. I am not even kidding with you. I had a budget for just regular expenses, things like souvenirs, gifts, snacks, because food and housing was taken care of, but other things I had to buy myself. And this knife was 80% of my 6-week allowance, my 6-week budget. I spent it 80% on this knife. So this knife has a lot of value to me. I don't know if you can see the striations, but there are slight striations in this handle, and it's from the horn of the kudu, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I think I have too much light on here. Got the light, maybe that'll help. So, absolutely beautiful striations, very slight, but still, a beautiful knife with that little pumba on the back. And I just love this knife. It's pretty sharp. I haven't sharpened it or cleaned it, in a couple of years because I've never used it. But it comes with a leather sheath, pretty basic leather sheath. I'll probably replace it with Kydex in the future. I don't like leather because it stretches, and so not a lot of the stuff that I have is leather. Those that are, I tend not to use. But anyway, so I just wanted to tell you about this cool knife maker. Again, his name is J.M. Foslua. I don't know if he makes any more knives. I don't even know if I can zoom up close enough to that little thing. You can see it says Kleinmond, which is the town where I bought it, Little Mouth, and RSA, which is the Republic of South Africa. Anyway, that's it for this week's Weapon Wednesday. Quick little anecdotal review of this little knife that I got in Kleinmond in Cape Town, close to Cape Town in South Africa. Anyway, I will catch you guys for the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.